Hi everybody, welcome to Big Valley Living. My name is Michelle, and if you are here for the first time, I want to thank you for stopping by our channel. And if you are a subscriber or just somebody who likes to come by and get some updates, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming by again today. It has been way too long since I made an update video, so today I'm just going to give you a kind of a quick rundown and let you know about some things my husband and I are planning to do here in the next, well, starting today. So my last video was October 21st. And if this is your first visit here to Big Valley Living, let me give you a quick overview. My name is Michelle, and I am in my late 50s. And there's a squirrel in the backyard, so let me go let my dogs out. I'll be right back. Okay, no big deal. They just had to go chase it down the length of the fence. So I have stage 4 colon cancer, and I had stage 2 in 2017, late 2017. In fact, November 17th is the anniversary of when I had surgery. And I had part of my colon, what they call a resection. And they took out about 10 inches of my colon, and then they connected everything back up inside. And then a couple of years later, about a year and a half later, they had been keeping an eye on another spot, and it actually had moved over to one of my ovaries, and that once it moves to a different organ, then you're stage 4. So in late 2019, or in 2019, I should say, not late 2019, I had surgery and just had a hysterectomy, and they got rid of all the cancer, and I was already, I was already past the age of having another baby or anything. So that's my story. And so right now I am still going through chemotherapy. Chemotherapy, not proper at this point. I'm using a product called Avastin, which is administered through a port that I have in my chest, and it is designed to keep the tumors that I have in my stomach or my omentum at bay. I'm pretty much, I'm gonna be in treatment for one thing or another, probably forever. But I go in, at this point, I go in every 2 weeks and I get my Avastin, and then carry on with life, and that's pretty much it as far as treatment goes at this point. And lots of blood tests and things like that. I would like to take a moment to tell everybody this is absolutely not medical advice. This is one cancer patient in the United States of America sharing my journey with you. That's all this is. I will not make any kind of recommendation about any kind of, any kind of treatment or anything. I would never question your doctor. Everything that you have going on in your life is between you and your medical team, as is the same with mine. But I do want to share with you because so many people have colon cancer, and so many younger people are being diagnosed worldwide with colon cancer. And I'm trying to demystify what it's like to have it, because when I found out that I was stage 4, honestly, I didn't think I'd be alive this long. I thought another year or two and I'd be on hospice and that would be it. And while I am getting weaker and I am losing weight, I'm still going through treatment. I'm still living life. As a matter of fact, we just had a wonderful, magical Thanksgiving. We hosted it at our house, but all my husband and I had to do was just get the house ready. And then we did the turkey, the gravy, and the dressing, and a green bean casserole with the help of my cousin Joni. And then everybody else in the family, we had a total of 20 people here. Everybody else brought things and helped, set up and take down and clean up. And In the middle of all of that, there was laughter from children running back and forth from room to room, which drives their parents crazy. But great auntie says, go for it, kids. You only live once. And we just had a really good time. Great dinner, great company, lots of laughter and love, and just, it was wonderful. And I hope that you all had the same type of experience for your Thanksgiving if you live in the United States of America, because that's what we do on the last Thursday of the month. So in the past month and couple of weeks now since my last video, I did have an MRI, and I believe I talked about my MRI on the last video. It was inconclusive, and I'm going to have a PET scan later this week to compare to a PET scan I had performed in September, and then they'll compare it to some of the information that was found on the MRI, and then they'll look and see, are the tumors growing right now, or is everything at bay? And more than anything, I want my doctor to look into why my stomach is so bloated. I've lost 20 pounds since my last video, but my stomach is so distended, and we're really not sure why. I mean, if you're overweight or if you're bloated or something, when you, even if your stomach is sticking out or something, but you lay down on the bed and your stomach kind of flattens out because it's soft. My stomach is so hard, it just looks like a pregnant woman's stomach when I lay down. So we're trying to figure out why it's that way and see if there's anything that can be done, because quite frankly, it's really uncomfortable. It's pressing on my bladder all the time. And so you can do all the figuring out you need to do on that. And I want to know what's going on, I've been taking ibuprofen, has been keeping it at bay, but I did get some pain medicine from the doctor in case it gets to a point where, nothing is making the pain go away. But that's where we are right now. I had infusion this morning, and that went well. I don't need to, they don't need to give me anything prior to getting the Avastin. So I'm able to drive myself there and drive myself home at this point. And that's that. That's the treatment side of things. I have been exercising as much as possible. For the most part, it's been housekeeping type stuff, crawling around on the floor, getting the baseboards clean. A little bit of deep cleaning helps me to stretch out a little bit more. This is weird, I do try to get down on the floor at least once or twice a day, because getting back up is good exercise as well. And I just want to try and stay as flexible and able to do for myself as possible. So that's kind of the extent of my exercise at this point. But I am going to be going out with my husband regularly and walking the dogs. I don't feel comfortable walking by myself anymore, and I'm not quite ready for a walker. I feel like I almost need one to keep my balance, for a place to sit if I'm on my walk with the dogs and I just need to sit down and take a rest for a couple of minutes, or, that type of thing. So that's where that is at this point. I have a birthday coming up. I'm in my late 50s, but I'm not 60. And so anyway, there's that coming up at the end of the week. And we're going to be changing our diet. My husband is amazing, but I'm going to focus in real quick on this. He is totally okay eating whatever works best at any given time for me. And I just watched a really cool video yesterday. I'll link to it on my next video, which will be much sooner than 5 or 6 weeks from now. But we just watched a thing about, it wasn't about cancer. It was about the relationship between food, vitamins, and disease. And I'll put the name of it and everything in the next video, and I'll link to it because I actually watched it through YouTube, even though it's an older documentary. And it brought up an interesting point, which was over 60 years ago, studies were being performed, and I can't remember all the particulars, the name of the study the group that did the studies and stuff. But they maintained that by having a whole food plant-based diet, again, 60 years ago, talking about that, okay? They talked about having over 51% of the diet as fresh, raw, like say a nice big salad, let's say, and fruits and vegetables, fresh fruits and vegetables. And now that we have organic foods at our disposal, it's even easier. It would have been pretty hard, I would think, in the 40s, 50s, and 60s to get organic food. I can remember as a child in the late 60s, early 70s, there weren't 18 lettuce types to choose from at the grocery store. There wasn't organic unless you grew it in your backyard or you had a neighbor who grew it and didn't spray. So I went to the grocery store today on my way home that has a really good organic selection on my way home from getting my infusion. And I picked up lacinato kale. I did get a nice big bundle of organic spinach. All of the stuff's organic. A gigantic bag of carrots that I intend to juice at least 2 or 3 times a week, if not every day. And I'll be sharing all of these little things with you on my channel. Sometimes I'll show you me actually making whatever it is, and sometimes I'll just do an overview of what we had over the week. But anyway, so I got the carrots for juicing. I picked up some fresh apples. We have fresh oranges right now. We have a few apples left on our Pink Lady apple tree. I've got lemons coming ripe, Meyer lemons at this point. Right after that, I have Eureka lemons that are going to be coming ripe. And again, I'll take you around the yard and show you. My intention is to do many more regular videos to show you what my daily activities are like. I will tell you, I am resting on an as-needed basis, and it seems like it's more often than it was even 6 months ago. But I get up every morning, I get dressed every morning, I take a shower most mornings. I don't find that I need to have a shower every single day because my hair, which is completely straight now, I have naturally curly hair, if you can believe that. So for whatever reason, my hair is straight, but that's okay. It's done that a few times during treatment. And also I'll bring you along. I'll show you the daily things. I'll take you around the yard, show you the flowers when I'm deadheading and things like that. We live in California in the Sacramento Valley. So we do get we have beautiful weather. In fact, today was actually, though, the first day of sunshine in over a week because we have been socked in with fog. And that's a very common Sacramento Valley thing. So the sun is out today, and I think we might actually get up to 50 degrees. And that's a good feeling. The sunshine really brings up your spirits and everything. So I can see a lot more outside time right now. I've got to deadhead all of the roses because I'm pretty sure we'll get another bloom or two before we need to cut them all back down in February, because that's what we do. But then there will be lemons to harvest, lemons to juice, and I'll just bring you along and we'll have a good old time together. But I did want to pop on today and put this little video together for you to let you know I'm still alive, no pun intended, feeling pretty good, and I am committing to making more regular videos. You're going to see me on days where I feel really, really good, and I think it's time that you see me once in a while when I'm not doing so well. I don't wear a lot of makeup at this point, but who knows, maybe one day you'll see me with makeup on and say, oh, who is that lady? So for today, I think I'm going to leave you with all of that. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments section. And I've had so many really nice comments of people saying, hey, Michelle, where are you? Are you okay? And new people, new subscribers. So I just want to thank all of you for that. As always, before we leave for the day, I do want to encourage you, if you have any kind of different bowel habits, or your stomach is hurting, or things just don't feel right to you, and especially if you're over the age of 40 at this point, and sometimes younger, please talk to your medical professional team about it. And if it's really bothering you, don't take no for an answer. My doctor took it very seriously when I filled out a questionnaire for sorry, I have to think for a second, for a physical I was going to have when I was almost 50 years old. And in that questionnaire, they asked you questions about, your bathroom habits and has anything changed and stuff like that. And I was very honest with my doctor because, quite frankly, I had let it go too long. I was afraid that he'd tell me I had cancer or something. Imagine that. So anyway, I do have a video about I have two videos actually about my early symptoms, and I am planning to make another video about my symptoms because it's time to refresh that information, and I think I'm going to shorten it up a little bit so that people who are low on time but need to get information will have a place to find that, online. And it's easy to listen to. You don't have to watch. You can just listen because everybody has different symptoms, as you will find if you go watch one of those videos. And I do have a playlist called My Journey. And on that, you'll find all of these videos, and they're just easy to listen to. You don't have to watch. So if you're driving in the commute or something like that, or on a road trip and you just want to hear more about it or something like that, you can go put my list on. And it also is listed as a podcast, so you're able to do that. But if you have any bowel changes, if you know anybody who has bowel changes and they've brought it to your attention, please talk to your doctor about it. If you need a colonoscopy, by golly, get a colonoscopy. It's not hard. I have a video about prepping for that. Having a colonoscopy really wasn't as bad as some people had led me to believe and scared the bejesus out of me. It's not that bad. So it's better to know what's going on with your body. It's better to catch things early. Had I mentioned to my doctor even 4 months sooner, I believe, based on my symptoms that I had I mentioned it to my doctor about 4 months earlier or even sooner than that, I don't think that I would be in the position I'm in today. I think that they may have been able to just take some polyps out and monitor for cancer, but I let it go too long. And then a couple of polyps turned into cancer. So I don't want that to happen to you. I don't want that to happen to a loved one of yours. And I don't want you to be afraid to talk to your doctor about, your bowel habits, because that's what doctors are here for, right? And they've probably heard a lot worse than anything you're going to tell them. Trust me. And even if it's hard to talk about it, I'd rather that you didn't have to go through all the surgeries that I've gone through and all the treatment and chemotherapy after chemotherapy. And I think I've had 4 surgeries, and you don't want any of that, okay? So I'm going to leave it at that for the day. Thank you so much for coming in and seeing us. And you'll see a video, you're going to see a video from me on Friday because I'm in a collaboration called Dipcember with my friend Angela at the Inquisitive Farm Wife. She invited me again. And I am going to make a healthy and delicious, easy Greek dressing. I was looking for a neat 7-layer dip, quite frankly. And I came across this Greek layer dip, and oh my gosh, that's what I'm going to share with you this Friday, December 5th. So keep that in mind if you made it this far. And it's got a lot of healthy items in it. It fits right in with this diet that my husband and I are going to be adhering to a little bit more. And I'm just hoping it works because I am just not hungry. That's why I'm losing weight. I am not hungry. And I have to force myself to eat 1 meal a day. But I do have to eat at least once a day. So if I don't see you before then, I'll see you this Friday. And I hope that you all have a great day. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving if you're here in the States. Make sure to give everybody you know a really big hug and enjoy every day. I'll see you later, everybody. Be kind.